A little girl was playing in the cellar. Her long, jet black hair covered her face as she went about her game. She was wearing a bright red dress with white spots, her small, slender arms cradling something in the darkness. Above her was a set of stairs creaking whenever someone walked down them. The door above burst open in a fit of rage. A figure was standing there. The girl's father stared down at his daughter. His face was as red as the girl's dress. It was flushed with a deep crimson, with a thin layer of sweat covering his brow. His breath was loud and ragged. He seemed to be gasping for air, but his rage would not allow him to control his mannerisms. Below his flushed face, he wore a shirt, and his chest was pumping in and out of it quickly. His knuckles were bone white as he gripped the axe's handle. Its long wooden shaft was visible in the dark, and the silver head seemed to have a life of its own. The little girl didn't notice her father. Instead, she was focused on the toy resting in her lap. The little boy looked up at her as her dark eyes stared back at him. He felt like a puppet in some weird show. How did he end up in this cellar? Her father charged down the stairs. The steps screamed as his feet slammed into the wooden beams. His face had become redder as he stormed towards the little girl. Bloodshot eyes, with a hint of madness, rested on her. Time began to slow down as the axe moved through the air swiftly. The boy could almost hear the air splitting as it came down towards his head. Well, this isn't very nice, the little boy thought as he died. In front of the boy were 13 judges, sitting on a bench, their faces covered in black cowls. Their eyes could not be seen. Skeletal hands rested on the desk. They tapped it softly in a mesmerizing tune. The boy stood there motionless. Indeed, this must be a dream. It cannot be real. This is a mistake, he screamed at the judges. But there was silence. The hooded figures turned to each other, and then there was murmuring. It sounded like some sort of wild animal growling. The hairs stood up on the little boy's neck. A voice came from all 13 judges as the little boy felt his soul shrink into nothingness. A suicide is what you are. You're going to hell, child. His body started to feel hot, like he'd been submerged in a boiling hot bath. He started to scream. His flesh was melting. There was no hope left for him now. Wait, please wait. I didn't do this. Let me take my revenge, and then I will go to hell. Let me give you his soul, he screamed over and over and over. The little girl was playing in the cellar. Long, jet black hair covered her face as she went about her game. She was covered in blood, and the blood was not her own. She smiled at the dead little boy. Now, she had a toy that she could play with forever. Her father, standing over the little girl, his mind gone. The axe fell to the ground, and the metal head made a sickening sound as it hit the floor. Red. All he could see was red. Give me your soul. Give me your soul for the dead, a voice whispered. The little girl started to gasp for breath as her daddy's hands began to squeeze. Soft, supple skin. It felt wonderful under his fingers as he pushed harder. You did this, didn't you? You have always been broken, my broken little doll. Now I'll fix you. Her father screamed at her, saliva flying from his mouth. Give me your soul. Give me your soul for the dead, a voice screamed into his ear as he entered his daughter. A large smile crept across his face as the breath left her. There was a thunderous explosion as a hole appeared in the back of his head. Smoke escaped from the barrel of the police officer's gun. He had been shouting, but no one had heard them, except for, "Give me his soul. Give me his soul for the dead." the little boy whispered into the police officer's ear. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's lullaby. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, keep watching for what's in the dark.